Good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Four Back. It's Friday, that's what it means. It's All Four Back time. I am Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Hadlington 83. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, and a good evening to Shads. Good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to hear you back, Shads. It's been a bit of a while. It's been only like that 7 days, but it's felt longer. It's crazy to think we've got 2 more episodes left, isn't it? It's how this year's just flown by for us, and we've got these last two podcasts to go. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone very quick, hasn't it?
It has indeed. Well, tonight we're doing our reviews as always. We have the third and second place teams in the league to review, but first of all, we have the World Championships, which took place on Sunday, the grand final up at Bradford, and a very technical track for all riders involved. And it was no surprise that the top 3 was headed by the top 3 in the league, potentially. I'll have to look on details of that, but it was a win for Stefan with a 15-point max. As I said, you were in this meeting, weren't you? What a meeting it was with that. So many big names in that meeting. I mean, what was it like for you, mate? Because it looked quite a challenging one for you.
Yeah, it was tough, to be fair, mate. It was better. It was stronger than the GP meeting for me, especially with some of the SES guys in there. Badger riding well, obviously. Ads and Scotty in their tank. So yeah, and Ben's found some form recently, so it was tough. I rode like a complete numpty in my first 2 races. Didn't help. So yeah.
Well, from early indications in that meeting, we were all thinking that Craig was going to go through the card because he started the semi-final with a 15-point max. He actually went 7 races unbeaten up until his third ride where he came third. But it was looking like, because I had Heat 16 down as the one to watch. But then out of nowhere, Racer Ryan just came in out of nowhere, got 4 back-to-back wins, and was looking like he was going to be on course to get it, but they had that last place in the final ride, which obviously cost him. But Shad, do you think a deserving winner was Stefan? Do you think?
Oh, you can't argue with the maximum. And a lot of it was from the back as well. It wasn't all from the gate. I love the way Stefan methodically makes his way through the field when he doesn't gate. He doesn't panic. He doesn't, he just rides his own race. And once he hits the front, it's good night Vienna.
Yeah.
You don't get past Steph once he hits the front.
Well, we did get a word with Steph after the meeting on Sunday, because it's very rare we get Stefan actually in for a chat, because also on Fridays he's unavailable, and to get him on that Sunday was actually quite something, because I actually had a chance to actually speak to him and get his thoughts on the season. But again, that podium of Steph, Racer Ryan, and Craig, was that on the cards, do you think, Hads?
I think possibly, yes, because Pau, obviously the other one you're throwing there is Paris, I think, as well, because he's had a great season. He wasn't liking Bradford as much as the others. So I think near enough. I mean, if you look at Sizzler, came last in his first one as well, and managed to score 10 points still. That's quite some feat in itself, to be fair. But that one, Heat 17, that one, I was actually in that race alongside Ryan and Stefan, and it was just, I don't know. I should have won the race, to be fair, but I don't know how.
Well, you had DL Shaw in that race as well, didn't you?
Yeah, you were leading, weren't you, Hads, for 3 laps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was winning for 3 laps. He done me on the first bend, I think, of the last lap, but yeah, he was just, there was no stopping the move, so he's one of them. He very deserved winner on the night, but Ryan just didn't make the gate in that one and got left a bit
Yeah.
frozen
He
on
got
the first.
crowded out. He got crowded out on the
Yeah,
first turn, didn't he? I mean, he just didn't gate, and I think everyone just bunched up and sort of like there was no way through. And once he had like, he's not going to pass. He's not going to pass three riders, especially with Stefan being in one of them on that track. So no, it's
yeah,
like not a good time to miss the gate.
yeah. You can't give him an inch, especially Steph, obviously. But
No.
Mm.
I'm just looking at that
Credit
comment
to
that
you though,
Sizzle.
Hads. Credit to you. You rode a good race for 3 laps. I think you just got a bit crowded. You know, you
Yeah,
just got a bit bullied.
I
I
went a
think.
bit got to go a bit defensive. I think on going into the last lap, I did the same in my third ride when I was beating Sizz and Sizz got me up the inside on the last two bends. But yeah, I mean, I beat some good riders in the end in them last 3 races, so I can't really complain too much. It was a tough field, but
It was
not
that
too bad.
it was that heat 12, the Battle of the Black Country, where it was you, Sizz, and Powers all in the
Yeah,
same race. It was bragging rights, that one was.
yeah, I know. But they never had the last of it if I'd have won that one. Trust me.
Sizz just said easy win.
The Yorkshireman sport that though, didn't he? Should have been a 1, 2, 3 for you.
Mm.
The Yorkshireman got in and sport the night.
Yeah, but Sizz they're saying that the top 5 in the meeting was the top 5 in the averages. So it
Oh
just goes
wow!
to show how
Yeah,
powerful that meeting actually was.
I hadn't noticed that at all, to be fair, but that's a good shout.
Mm.
I mean, a
I think
Badger as well.
you
Badger,
mentioned.
9
I think
points.
one of you two mentioned Badger and Ben. So I mean, credit to them. I mean, Badger 9 points, no last places. Then 8 points, no last places. So you know,
Mm.
Yeah,
I think that was Badger's world final debut as well. So I think he
And
was
all,
asking Paris earlier for 5th place because they finished on the same points.
and also a shout out to Skyrider as well, getting a much needed. I think he had a couple of wins. Yeah, he had one heat win in his 4th ride, and
Yeah,
he was really like worried about it. Like he put himself down after the semi final where he actually qualified. But yeah, a great meeting there from all the rides that actually participated in that meeting.
there was
Again,
a few disappointing performances. I mean, DL still only scored in 7.
mm,
But you'd expected a bit more from Degar. I mean, as the reigning champion, and he's got 6 points. So I mean, he's been a bit off the last few weeks. He's not performed as I think once the league season finished, I think he sort of switched off.
mm, that's what you do. Is already all the leagues finished and all that, and you just want to say, okay, you know what, just put the
Yeah,
bikes in the shed and then just roll on next season.
yeah.
yeah,
But of course, it was a good meeting. I say obviously congrats to the podium. We did hear in his interview that Steph will be coming to the tapes in season 19. So of course, and there has been a lot of talk behind the scenes, which we'll hopefully put into more detail potentially next week. With that news, that obviously we've been told behind the scenes. But in the meantime, with that being said, we're going to head on to our first team review, and that would be the Birmingham Scorchers. Now, we were going to have Limo in, but I don't think he's actually in the chat at the moment. So we might have to sort of skip on him. But one person we do have in the chat with us, he's been popular when he's popped in and said hey and listened to the server or listened to the podcast. Sizzler, are you there, sir?
Wham Paris up every week.
Yes. Good evening, Sizz. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I had a crappy migraine earlier, but I'm all right.
Oh dear, mate. Sizz, I was going to say the same to Limo. Obviously, Limo's not here now. Your season started a little bit slow, but it seemed to pick up as the season progressed.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better if you started the season as you finished the season for a bit higher from the table?
Yeah, I think we would have done. I think if JC selfishly went on a honeymoon, which shouldn't be doing that really. It's bad, that is. Bad form. And then Wolfie, after Christmas, found the form that he's capable of. Yeah, and since Christmas we've been, really good, really impressive. The start didn't help us. Racing against Warriors every week, that got on my tits, that did. I was fed up of seeing them.
I think Sis, you lost your first two home league meetings.
Yeah.
I think plus the KO Cup versus Warriors, and then you didn't lose at home for the remainder of the season. And then you won. You're unbeaten. You're unbeaten in your last 4 meetings. So it was a funny old season. It was like a season, two seasons really.
Yeah, I mean, what didn't help us was having the Warriors, and we found out that the Warriors had had a look at Birmingham for their home track, so they'd done a few laps as well, which didn't help. But yeah, I think in all fairness, the team's been brilliant off the track, on the track. It's been okay. Me and Wolfie had a bit of a spat, but I've already spoken to him about that. I like to wind him up because I think he's better.
We all enjoyed that.
Yeah, you got to have a laugh, you? I just don't like that day. But in all fairness, Wolfie's another rider. He started the game the same time as me, and to me, he's a lot better than what his average is. But I think he worries about things too much instead of just getting on with it. Like I keep saying to everyone who I race with, I don't even look who I'm racing against. It's just 3 other riders, and you can beat anybody. So there's no point.
Oh, I think you do. I think you do, Sis. I think you do.
I look for pair. I look for pair. I like them.
One rider at least.
Yeah, I always look for pair. Don't forget, it reminds me, because we always talk to each other, no matter who's racing or we were racing each other, we message each other separately. Like when we raced you and he put it in the fence, he messaged me and he went, I've been waiting for that race all week. And I went, what a dickhead. Why did you do that for?
Oh, dear. Well,
yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in the chat, but he is now. So if Captain Limo is around, if he can potentially jump in, if he is here.
Hello.
Good evening, Limo. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well, you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We were just talking to Sis earlier about the sort of slow season, the slow start that Birmingham had, and then obviously the better form as towards the end of the season. As a captain, how would you rate your team's season this year?
I think, as you said before, 2 halves really. First half, just availability killed us really, and then the guests I booked probably didn't do as well as we hoped. And then running rider replacement and stuff, you can see on the screen there, we had a lot of guests and rider replacement there, usually for the same guys. But sort of after Christmas, when JC was around a bit more, Cam as well, we did much better, as Shad was saying. We end of the season, then we got absolutely smashed at Warriors, but I guess most teams did. Apart from that, we did really well for the last 6 or 7.
You're actually Lima. You're actually unbeaten after that defeat at Somerset.
Yeah, we did. Few people say like it's a shame the season didn't sort of start sort of January time, but yeah, like I say, we just never covered for sort of Cam and JC early on. The few means we lost by a couple, so we weren't getting like smashed back when we were struggling with availability, but like we lost the Cowboys by 2, I think, and then I think even Warriors, when they beat us at home, that was 8, I think. So they were quite close, but just couldn't quite get over the line early on. Then became a bit of a thing really. Then when we rode Storm, I think we beat them at home 46-44.
Yeah, 2 points.
We were like, yeah, but like I don't think we'd won a home meeting before that, and we were about. I haven't got the stats down. I think we were about 8 or 10 points clear with about 4 or 5 races to go. When you haven't won at home and you're trying to close it out, we just scraped over the line in the end. So that was a bit of a worry. But after that, then we got a bit of confidence from that, probably beating a team as good as them, and then just kicked on, as you say. We just have to put that Warriors defeat down as an anomaly near the end. So that was in the second half. But apart from that, we did really well at the end, and I was riding the wrong line at Birmingham at the start of the season, so I wasn't scoring what a number 1 should. And then when Cows beat us, Stefan was using a slightly different line. I just used that for the rest of the season and did much better, really.
And it worked for you.
Yes.
Am I correct in saying that you had a couple of track records to your name as well this season? So individually, you've had a decent season.
I didn't have any in the league. I don't think I got the Parkham one in the GP and then Cradley. But I might have had the Birmingham one for a little bit, but DL got it in the end. Yeah, I might have had one early on, and then someone beat it. Maybe might have been last season. Not sure. My average dropped quite a bit, to be fair. So I was a bit disappointed where I ended up. But second half of the season, I was much better and sort of where I'd expect to be, really. So at least it was that way around, sort of thing. And had a good GP at the end and pretty good BLRC. So by the end, I was pretty pleased with my form, really.
Well, Ben Thompson just put in the chat. He says, "JC fell asleep for the one meeting I refed." He says so.
Yeah.
He just he'd been on holiday. I think he'd been to Caribbean, so I don't know what time zone he was on, but so that one we ended up using rider replacement, but we got battered there. So even if he'd have rode there, we wouldn't have. Not like we would have got any points there, but that was a bit funny early on, really.
JC's fault.
Say again, Sid.
It's all JC's fault.
Also,
Limo, quick mention for Cam, put over a point on his average. You must be pretty pleased with his performances this year.
Yeah, he was really good. If we're picking a rider of the season for us, be between Sis and Cam, but I'd just about go for Cam. You can see he topped the home averages there, and he did really well. I think he was averaging 8 halfway through the season, then it dropped a little bit. But yeah, he was brilliant. It shows you how good he was. And the riders in his group at the start of the season, like we couldn't cover for him with guess at all, really. He was just so much better than his average. And his average probably where it should be now. But yeah, he was brilliant. So a couple of means he didn't really do too much practice, and then he still went out and did really well. So he was brilliant for us. He'd be sort of rider of the season for us, I think.
Yeah, and he cost us the league title, so thanks for that. Beat us home and away.
Yeah, we did. That was I said after that Storm meeting away. That's a
bogey team if there ever was one.
Yeah, that was that was our best meeting from both seasons. To be fair,
you were all terrific. I mean, credit where credit's due. I mean, we were beaten, but I mean, we were beaten by a better team. I think we had pretty much full strength team out as well. So no excuses. We were just the second best on the night. Hard to say it, but that's facts.
It was indeed. I don't know. Should we say the news we've heard now, or should we wait until next week?
No, next week.
Next week. Okay.
Not official yet.
No, not official. That's cool. I was going to say, Liam, obviously, you had Tom Ridgway signed at the start of the season, but he sort of left halfway through. Obviously, having that availability, as you said, hindered your progress at the table. But in terms of all that's happened, to finish third, you must be happy.
Yeah, definitely. I think I said at the start of the season, if I could sort of hold my average, which I wasn't able to do, but where the key aim for the season was to move up the league a bit. So we were 5th last season, and then sort of about November time, looking like we wouldn't even come 5th again. But the way we turned around was really good, and to get back up to 3rd, we were really pleased with in the end. So yeah, overall pleased, and like I said, the second half season was much better. Enjoyed it much more. Sort of when you're chasing around for guests and running rider replacement, it's not that enjoyable, and it became a bit of a chore early on. Probably affected my appetite to be on the game, but when things were going better, second half it was really good. So overall enjoyed it, and yeah, really pleased to come 3rd in the end and move up the table a little bit.
And Cowboys sort of fell off, didn't they? They only won 2 out of their last 5 meetings, and then we got beaten in the last 4. They just fell away, didn't they? Just sort of like they just dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, we got a draw there, and then I think we won at Storm, and then I think they needed to get something at Redcar at the end, and they didn't. So we just about got to 3rd. Yeah, it only being by a point, but quite a big turnaround, as you said.
I'll say Sis. One more for you. Of course, you've had individually wise, you've had your good season. What's been your highlight of the Scorchers season?
We know that already, don't we?
Yeah,
I think I know the one. I think I know what he's going to say. Could that be the Storm away win?
Oh, it was great. It was a great seeing Perry in the fence as well as I did my victory lap. Oh, it was an highlight of my career. That I went past. But yeah,
you keep feeding him, Dan.
I just yeah.
No, it's been good. I'll be honest with you. It's one of the Limo. It's the first time I've ever heard his voice, but he's one of the better. He's one of the good guys of the game. If we put it that way, he's brilliant. Top lad.
Yeah, and he stepped in to stream the meeting last Sunday, so that was great of him.
Yes, thank you, Limo. Yes, thank you.
No worries. If I'm free and about, I'll always do what I can to help. It's the least you can do, really.
Top man. Anything else we have, chaps, for the Scorchers while we got them here?
Yeah, I'm just going to ask Sis a question.
Far away then,
I was reading the forum posts earlier for the team of the season, and obviously a few different things were mentioned. How pleased were you with the point that Liam got when he won you the meeting?
Oh, over the moon, mate. Yeah, I'm getting 20 quid the next day to go and get what he wanted. I thought,
right? £20 a point.
Hey,
it's good giving that, isn't it?
He says, "Can I have some?" I said, "The way you rode, the last time you rode, Rush, me 20 quid, no mind anything else." But yeah,
he owes me 20 quid and all.
He loved it. He absolutely loved it. He's like me. He hates losing, and he can't understand if he's in a practice server with say me, Paris, and Sayads. He don't understand why he can't win. And I'm like, mate, you've got to realise you're 12. You're only just playing the game, and you're expecting to beat everybody else. But when he got that point, I was over the moon, and he was over the moon.
Who was it you beat to get the point? If you don't mind me asking, who was it?
Was it you?
He wasn't against us, was he?
What meeting was it?
I think it was Ben, maybe.
Yes, it was Ben. It was Ben. Yes, it was Ben.
Some guys Ben's been working pretty well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Ben's been brilliant. But then at the same time, then it put pressure on the last race. We needed a 5-1, didn't we, on the last race to get to win the meeting.
Yeah, that was to get third as well in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. But we kept saying all the way through. We kept saying we can get fourth. I kept saying no. We want third. We want third. We can get third, and and then in the end we all started to think, yeah, well, we can get third, and then yeah, we did. So we was well chuffed.
Yeah,
especially after the start of the season, wouldn't have seen that coming.
No
chance.
No, but I think we was dark horses. I think if we'd have had, like I say, if we'd have had a full team at the start of the season, I think we were dark horses. I think, and it proved that from Christmas.
Yeah,
definitely.
We'd have finished second anyway, because that Storm, they're really good, haven't they? We showed them that, don't we? I know it's coming on next.
No comment.
Oh, brilliant.
We have to have this go on, guest. So we have to have this go on every week.
Well, it was funny the amount of times that Sis had a go at me for bigging the Storm up, and then the Scorch go and beat him home and away.
The podcast after that, you still talked about Storm.
What was that? Say again, Lima?
After we beat them, I think you still talked about Storm more than us on the podcast after.
Well,
it's funny though that meeting at Birmingham early in the season where you beat us by 2 points. I think we only needed one more point from any of our riders would have won us the league this season. So that was probably more painful than the home defeat. With the home defeat, we're just blown away. But the early one early in the season at your place, when everyone lost by 2, I mean, only 2 points on rider replacement. Crikey, just one more point would have given us a draw on the league. So that was probably more painful than than the home defeat. To be honest with you, but we're expecting you to come strong, especially with you, Sizzler, being an ex-Hyde Road rider. I knew he'd be up for it.
Yeah, I think when Sis saw that track selection by Hyde, he was like, right, let's get him.
Yeah, because at the start of the season, I kept messaging him saying, "Where have you picked for your track?" And he told me the through tracks, and he went, "But I'm trying to get him to go to Hyde." I was thinking, "Yeah, please go on then. Let me know."
maybe a season at Hyde in season 19, Sis, do you think?
Oh, mate, no, because Paris will come back and haunt me, will he? He'll get his own. No.
Well, I'm guessing that yourself and Limo come back for season 19, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah. Limo, what about you?
I'm not sure if it's a summer start. I'm not sure because I've got a few more things on in the summer, so I have to make a decision near the time. But if I can't do it properly and put the time to it, then I won't do it because then if you're not going to dedicate yourself and do it properly, then there's no point doing it, I don't think. So I'll have to see how it falls with commitments. But if it's come whatever's going on, if we start again in October, November time or whatever, then I'll definitely be back, yeah.
There's always the pool, Limo.
Yeah, if I don't do the next season, I'll definitely be in the pool at the least.
Oh, well, chaps, it's been absolutely great to have you both on board here. Again, we will hopefully see you guys in season 19. Massive thanks for coming in, boys. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you. Boys,
Cheers, Limo.
Can I just say,
Yes,
Limo, it's been an absolute pleasure to race with you for 2 years. Even if you don't sign up, we can't be in the same team because our averages are too close. But it's been a pleasure. And if he does carry on, or he comes back a captain, or he carries on, or what have you, anybody who gets the chance to ride for Limo, please do, because he's a top captain. And also you guys as well, the podcasting on a Friday night, I sit in my shed at the bottom of the garden with a few rums, watch the football, and have you on in my ear. And it's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, that's class, Sis. That's absolutely class.
So keep up the work, boys. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
I'll bring on the Storm next one because I'm desperate to listen to this. Say they failed.
That'll be after the break. That'll be after the break, there, Sis. Cheers, mate.
I've gone right off this bloke.
Oh, bro. And Limo, thanks for coming as well. I really appreciate it. And massive thanks
Cheers,
for
fellas. Thanks a
Sunday
lot.
as well.
No worries. Cheers. Cheers as well, sis.
Thanks, mate.
All right, see you in a bit.
Cheers. So that was the Scorchers review. I think after that we have our first break of the evening. It'll be our only break of the evening. So it is getting your thinking caps on now, chaps, because it is SCS question time. We were going to have something planned for next week, which we'll do obviously next week. We're going to do it tonight. We're going to do it next week instead. So Shads, I believe you have the SCS question for us, and after the break, we're going to have the Storm review and the GP and SCS previews of the final round at Bellevue. So Shads, over to you.
Right. I think this might be quite easy. So no peeking. Name the 3 winners of the SCS Championship from season 15 to season 17. Name the 3 winners of the SCS Championship from season. Yeah, you keep quiet, pal. From season 15 to season 17. That's the entire championship, not individuals. The entire championship. There have been 3 before this season.
So name the
Alan
3
McNally,
winners.
Tom Ridgway, Crosby Earl. Yeah, the questions in the chat.
Yes. So get your think caps on, chaps, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes for the second part of All 4 Back.
No peeking.
So, welcome back to All Four Back. And the question that I asked you before the show, before the break, to say rather, was who were the last 3 winners of the SES from season 15 to season 17? And Shad's, care to enlighten us all?
Well, I thought that was quite an easy one, but I think it's a lot of you struggled until the end. Season 15, Mimi won it. David Vacek second, and Brendan Hart finished third. Season 16, Sean, with Racer Ryan runner-up and Jan third. And a lot of people struggled with last year's winner, which was D.L. Shaw. I think a few of you got it towards the end. I think Scotty and Sizzler got it. It was D.L. Shaw won it, with Zagar runner-up and Bobby third.
So quite a few old school names from that season 15. Quite a few names there. Be great to get the whole crew back together, wouldn't it? Like get the old names back on the game after all this time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jan's. I think he's in university, isn't he? So he can't ride.
Can't
I
commit.
don't know what happened to David Vacek, and I don't know what happened to Brendan Hart.
Well, we can all dream, can't we? Get the Paris says I think Jan has a 2-hour time difference. That could
Yeah, he
could
does,
Yeah, of course, he's in Finland, isn't
Tank says sure if we could allow V2 somewhere. Oh wait.
he?
Hashtag boycott V2.
I think you might get a few people leaving as well, so probably
I reckon so.
even
Yeah,
itself out.
definitely. So we had the 3rd place team, which was the Scorchers. We're now going to move on to the 2nd place team review, and that would be the Hyde Storm, the team that was quite a force to be reckoned with at the start of the season in terms of team building. We see the stats on the screen now. And with that being said, I'm going to bring in our Storm representative. He has been on the show a few times with us. He's also the current leader of the SCS round going into the last round at Bellevue, which we'll see on Sunday. So, Ads, are you there, my good sir?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Ads. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We're just going through the review of each team, and we have also got to bring the Storm in. Storm were very consistent. Definitely at the start of the Scissors saying get pow on with Ads. We want pow. We want pow.
Good luck with that one.
We got him in last week or week before? It was last week,
Yeah,
wasn't
he
it?
was,
We got him in. Yeah, because he was in for the.
I think he was quite nervous. I think.
Yeah, very, very, very silent he was, but he talked. So I mean, if he wants to pop in, then he's more than welcome to. But like I said, I mean, the Storm were very consistent start of the year. It was win after win after win after win, and you pretty much had the league favourites name to your team name. Just talk us through your season, mate, because it was a great season for you. Just having that last hurdle got to you, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a funny old season, really. We never really sort of battered anybody. It was always quite small wins on the whole. There was always we never really all clicked as a 6 all in one meeting, I wouldn't have said, probably until the last one against Norse. There was always someone, it was even like Craig, myself, Hal was pretty faultless throughout, but there was always somebody who had an off one, and I don't know how we did it. We just kept on, and I don't know how many times we had it in the last 3 heats where we just got a few heat advantages and just crept over the line. But I think our luck ran out a little bit towards the end. But on the whole, it was obviously disappointing to lose the league like we did. It was in our hands at the end of the day. We was relying on other teams doing us a favour, which shouldn't really ever happen. But on the whole, it was alright. It was enjoyable from like a team point of view. There was no fallouts. I think that's probably the first season I've ever had where we haven't had any arguments or whatever. But yeah, it was a great bunch to be with, a good laugh, and it was nice to be in a team again with Powell and Craig, because they're just ridiculous, especially in practice and whatever. So yeah, it was a good season.
You could always count on Craig and Powis in Heat 15, but there were some times where actually you and, like, say it was you and Sky, or it was you and Powis in Heat 15, so you pretty much had the top 3 or 4 in the league at that time going into your last race. So you were guaranteed at least a heat advantage, but most times it was always 5-1s, 5-1s, 5-1s.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you can pretty much guarantee. I did look at it. I can't remember the figure off the top of my head, but how many 5-1s or heat advantages Powell and Craig got, and I think it was for the whole season. There was only one race out of all the meetings when them two were a pair that they didn't get like a heat advantage, I think, or something stupid like that. They're just so consistent. Considering Craig only practiced for bloody 10 minutes a time, he's like 4th or 5th in the averages or whatever.
If we're
It was
lucky.
like, well, that's what I mean. Like, if can you imagine if he actually practiced, and there's 2 meetings where he practiced like the day before, and one of them was when he got the 15-point max in the World Camp semi, and the other one, I think he pretty much got like 14 points in the other meeting as well. So that's what I just told him. Just practice for one time, just to get rid of like the rustiness. Like, relying on us to send you videos, then hope for the best for 10 minutes is. But to score what he did, I mean, to average over 9 is pretty incredible, to be honest. But yeah, I think he was actually disappointed with how his season went. He could have easily been challenging sort of Steph or Powell had he on that extra training session, I think.
Yeah. Hans, I believe you've got all the details that you've got for the Storm, so I'll let you just crack on, mate, and take it from here.
I have indeed, mate. Evening, Ad.
Good evening, mate.
Do you feel this season, obviously you stepped down as captain from the Crusaders the previous season. Do you think that helped you ride, not better, but increase your average a bit more, especially with having Power and Craig in the team as well?
Yeah, definitely. I said I just wanted to get back to enjoying it. Not like I didn't enjoy the captaincy, but it was just quite nice just to sit back and not have to organise stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, we're all been on the game a fair while now, the lads in the group. So yeah, it was quite good on that front. But yeah, it was definitely helped me, I think, stepping back. Hardly any sticky keys this year. I've only had a couple. I keep swapping them about, which definitely helps. But no, I think this is the least amount of last places I've had for years. But so I'm either win or bust. There's no sort of in between for me normally. It's the old Doyle and Campos thing. Doyle in practice, Campos in a meeting sort of style. But yeah, I enjoyed the season from a personal point of view. Felt in a couple of meetings I could have scored more, but I lack a little bit of consistency sometimes, and I get a bit carried away and stick myself in defence or whatever. But yeah, on the whole, it was much improved. I think it's probably my second highest average since season 6 or something stupid like that. So yeah, well chuffed.
Yeah, that that brings me on to my next question. With the average woes as well. Obviously you spent most of the season riding in the middle of the team, which obviously I know in previous teams you've been number 1 or number 5. Do you think that helped as well with your average riding in the middle, a little less pressure?
Well, yeah, definitely. I was pretty much at number 4 for the whole season, and I don't class myself as a number 1. I don't class myself in the same league as like Limo, Craig, Powell, Steph. They're so consistent, and to be a number 1, you have to have that consistency. I still chuck in too many last places and dodgy rides when I'm in good positions to win. But yeah, it's one of those.
The next one I've got is it's to both you and Chads, to be honest. Which one of your Storm teammates were you most impressed by this season?
There was, I think you can make a case for everybody on the day. Like Craig, you can say Craig because he only practiced 10 minutes a bloody time, and Powers because he's like really stepped up this year. Like he was so consistent throughout. But I think Hutty as well. He turned up to practice like loads, and you could see the improvement on him. And in practice, he'd be leading races for like 3 laps. It would just be one little mistake. But seeing he was so much more consistent towards the end compared to when he was at the start, and he was listening. And then we said at the start of the season when we were like signing him and whatever that the likes of Powell and Craig and myself, obviously Shads and Langer, they've all been about for years and years, so plenty of experience. And if he was going to be in a team, I'd say it was probably one of the better ones to be in terms of learning from. And he did take it on board, and he's upped his average no end, to be honest.
Cool. How about you, Shads? Or are you staying quiet on this one?
No, I'm letting you. This is your bit, mate. I've been talking about us all season, so I thought I'd give someone else a chance. I mean, Ads is being very, very kind about us, but you can't hide the fact that we relied too much on our top 3 this season, and the rest of us, maybe Hutty excluded from that because he actually upped his average. The rest of us didn't really contribute as much as we could have done. I mean, Langer had a season from hell. I don't think he's had that lower average since his first season at Newport in season 2. I don't know what the hell happened to him. I just about maintained my average. I think I put 0.8 on mine or something. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But no, I did say, I said all season that it only takes one of our top 3 to have a mediocre meeting and we're in trouble. We sort of scraped through a few meetings. I mean, we were losing at home to Dynamite by about 10 points at one stage, and then we sort of rallied towards the end, so we got away with one there. Was it that meeting had you were 12 points ahead or something, yeah. And we chucked in Craig as a tactical and got a 5-1, and I think we got 5-1s in the last 3 of the last 4 races or something. So that should have been a warning. That should have been a warning for us, but we didn't all click at the same time, apart from I think the meeting against Norse and maybe at the Piemen, but they had a weakened team as well. So I think we just we got lucky that we actually made it to the last meeting of the season with a chance to win the league. In my eyes, anyway. I know people saying, "Oh, you're just you're saying that to take pressure off yourself," but I genuinely thought all season that we're just one bad meeting from one of you top 3 away from losing the meeting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was we did scrape, as I said earlier, we scraped over the line so many times, and it was only a matter of time before somebody did beat us like they did, sort of thing. So it was, as you say, the warning signs were there, but yeah, it was just one of them ones. I don't know how we kept coming back at times, and there was a few times where I thought, that's us done, sort of thing. But we just found a way in the last few heats. Maybe we were just doing it for entertainment purposes. I don't know.
I think having Hyde Road as a home track as well, because most people like Hyde. Most people like Hyde Road. Most people like Hyde Road, and it's one of those race tracks where there's 2 or 3 lines where it's not like maybe like a Birmingham where you stick on the line and there's not many people that will pass you. And Berwick, especially Berwick, probably been the most one-liner track that we've got in the league this season. It's hard to pass there unless someone in front of you makes a mistake. But I think Hyde Road was quite a popular track to visit for a lot of teams.
I'll admit at the start I wasn't 100% sure on it. I sort of went with what Powers was saying about it, and the more I rode it, towards the end especially, I really, really enjoyed it. Even like practice was really fun, and that's the thing as well. Like you've got a good track to race on, and especially during practices when we had like the voice chats and whatever, we had some really good laughs. And
that was fun, yeah.
if you've got something like that, it makes so much difference to the game. Even if you had a fun track and you weren't winning, I think you just still had a laugh about it all. And at the end of the day, it's a game. That's what you want to have. You want to have a good laugh.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we did have some laughs, yeah. I know it fell away towards the end, but we made a good fist of it, and we won the KO Cup, so we won something. We got something on the
It's not
board.
all bad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to move on to next. Was the actual knockout cup. You got through the semi-final by 2 points against the Cowboys on aggregate. With the 2 5-1s you had there in heat 13 and 14 was actually you two who got the actual 5-1 in heat 14.
Oh,
to
that's right. I remember
get
doing
over the line and get you into the final.
But that's again, like, this is what I'm on about, like consistency from my point of view. Like, what is that, like 2 exclusions? I can't even remember what happened there. But it's that sort of stuff that would literally win or bust. There's no, there's not really much in between. But again, it's another one of them meetings where we sort of just came together in them last 2 heats just to drag it out. I think, look at, what was it, we were 6 down after 9, and it's that second half of the meeting we seem to pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, obviously we move on to the final then as well, where you face the Warriors in between your league matches, I think, or it was quite close to the league matches.
We had the Warriors
and again, they got the 5-1 there in 13, but obviously you two again. I mean, how did it feel, you two pairing up? I know you've been in a few teams together, Heat 14 again, knowing that you both crossed the line to win your team the knockout cup.
I wanted to help Shads, but I put us in danger, I think, if I actually did try. So when I was in front, I was trying to watch him at the same time, and it's so difficult. Like, I wanted to help, but he smashed it, obviously. So yeah, me and Chads have rode together a few times now, and we have our moments every so often.
Oh,
good
we
and bad.
do. Oh, we do. No one likes riding with me.
I've never known anybody who could make a dive bomb work on so many tracks, and yeah, when it comes off, it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I mean, this sort of scoring is what Shads can do, and he knows he can do it as well. And I know he's disappointed with his season, but he knows he can do it. In practice, he's flying at times, and he's hit some really good times. And if he can transfer that form across, then he'll be laughing and he'll make a mockery of his average. Keep saying it every year, but
I always say that, Ads. I say it every
I
year.
know.
Next year's going to be my year. Next year's going to be my year.
Yeah, he's definitely got it there. Definitely got it there.
Yeah, definitely. How did that feel for you, Shads, knowing you was in second and you had to hold off
That was
Super
my.
Duper Wolfie?
That was actually. I think I mentioned it in one of the things on the forum that we were putting down. Our highlight of the season. I think that race is probably my highlight of the season. Knowing we crossed the line, and we won the cup. That was probably my highlight of the season. Yeah, thanks,
Would you
Paddy.
say
Yeah,
was you
mate.
most nervous as well?
No. This season I haven't been. No, I mean, up to sort of like this season, I'd come up to a race and my hands would be shaking. I'd be puffing on my vape like there's no tomorrow. I mean, the clouds of vape everywhere in the room. But this year, this year I've been quite relaxed.
I was the same actually this year. I don't know what it was
It's
this
weird,
year.
isn't it? I don't know what it was either. I don't know.
Season 16, when we won literally everything, I was so nervous. Like every single meeting, no matter who it was. And like I knew we'd win the meetings, but honestly, I was taken like a shitting dog, to be honest. And yeah, it was so weird. Like I don't know whether I just didn't feel the pressure of obviously captaincy and whatever this year. Who knows?
No, I'm actually enjoying the game more now. Now than I was like last 3 or 4 seasons. I think having you and Harris and Craig in the same team, and also Skyrider, Lango, and Hattie, I mean, we sort of bonded quite well. Everyone was quite active in the chat, and practice was pretty good. Where everyone sort of turned up, bar Craig, but we know about Craig, don't we? He doesn't have to practice too much. But I think I enjoyed it quite a lot this season. I mean, everyone sort of like helped. It wasn't sort of left down to Alango to sort of arrange things. Paris chipped in obviously with his stuff on Discord, like meeting arrangements and things like that. So everyone sort of like chipped in. Everyone sort of like who had servers could serve. It wasn't relying on one or two people. You know, it was all of us chipped in. We was like having 7 captains. You know.
Yeah, it was good. We had, as I say about the servers, like there's 4 of us who'd serve regularly, and that definitely helped things, I think, and just took the pressure off. And going back to the nerves, I think from myself personally, like having Craig and Powell above me in the averages sort of put less pressure on me to try and do something, if that makes sense. And I think that's probably why I cocked up so much, because I was putting added pressure on myself, knowing I had to perform. But not that I didn't have to perform this year, but you had Powers and Craig as like sort of set leading the way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Tank's just put
definitely.
in the Tank's put in the chat saying you had 4 number 1s and 7 captains. You had it made. And obviously saying that he had your average actually increased by 1.11 this season. So I guess for you,
Tank's maths is a bit off.
well, that's what Tank says anyway.
That's Ad's average, not yours, Shad.
Ads.
He's not including me as a number 1, is he?
Well, you know, there's still plenty of time, Shad.
On
Still
a
plenty of time,
5-point
mate.
average. There's not. There definitely is not. If I can sort my gating out, yeah. But I'll make my 1 gator meeting's not going to be enough to win you to get you to number 1, is it?
Next season, Shad's ends on like a 9.8 average, something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Or Tank says number 1 reserve. Is that better, Shad?
No, I was at number 2 for most of the season. I don't think I rode at reserve once. I don't think I rode at number 6 once this season. No, I was at number 2 mostly. I think a couple of meetings at 3, and that was it.
Yeah. But I guess for you, Ads, overall, it's just been a great season for the Storm. I say just missing out on the league, but getting that knockout cup. I guess next season for you is going to be, you know, same principle. Go for as much wins as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I've enjoyed, as I said before, I've enjoyed the season on the whole. It's been great fun, which is the main thing, and
yeah,
hopefully I can continue that on Sunday and finish it off.
Well, speaking of Sunday, we have got the previews of that, so we want to try and potentially keep you in if we can, Ads, just to get your thoughts on that match. But of course, that was the Storm review. Unless you got anything else to say, Hads, on that one?
No, I was just going to ask both Ads and Shads if they are obviously coming back to types next season, and I'm actually missing your Crusaders videos from this season, Ads, because they were pretty good on Facebook. I enjoyed them.
Oh, the old Captain's Corner.
Yeah,
those are pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I'll be back. I think the social side of it is so important, and just doing them sort of things. But obviously, you guys doing this and the more streams, it's just made the whole game go up a level. And keeping the socials busy is the main thing, I think, just to keep promoting it and trying to attract new people. Hopefully, we can get some across from SC or something, but we'll see. We have a really good core of you sort of see the same faces every year, so hopefully doing the socials more and posting on YouTube, Facebook, and whatever will increase our numbers and make it even better seasons ahead.
Yeah, That's great words to say that, Ads. We are looking at the league table now, so the final standings. It was all down to points. It was all down to points difference for the top two. 1 point between third and fourth as well. So it was a really close season. So
I mean, the
we've had
for and against is so equal, isn't it? That's the thing. There's so many meetings where, as I say, we scraped through where we could have probably should have won by a little bit more, which would have made a lot of difference. But can't look better. Somerset, for me, I said at the start of the season, their side was so strong. I know you could probably count on Ryan to be like number one, but the rest were so solid, and chopping and changing places makes so much difference. You've seen it in real life Speedway. I think Peterborough in '99. I think looking years back, that was such a solid team. Sheffield as well in previous years where they've had strong reserves and whatever. It's a winning formula. Even though we had like Craig, Power, myself as the top three, you can't just rely on that. You need to have solid throughout.
Right. I mean, no disrespect to Hutty, but when you look at who the Warriors had at number 6, they had Scotty at number 6 for the last few meetings of the season. We had Hutty and Lango. You know, no disrespect to those guys, but they're not in Scotty's class. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, having Scotty as reserve when at the time he was first in the SCS series, wasn't he? So, but it's having someone like that who, you know, he can pop out the gate because his gating is really good and he can literally beat anybody on his day, and you got him as your number 6 is pretty special to say the least.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Yeah. So as I say, we're just looking at the final table there now. So we had the North, we had the Piemen, had the Dynamite, had the Cowboys, had the Scorchers, had the Storm. Next week will be the final team, which will be the Somerset Warriors. The final team review of that. Of course, we are going to have our team of the season next week as well, from all three of us. So look forward to seeing what you will think of our teams of the year. Meanwhile, we're going to switch gears to our final part of the show, which is going to be the SCS and BGP previews, coming from the magnificent National Speedway Stadium in Bellevue, Manchester. We are hopefully going to be having the the SCS match streamed, to be confirmed at the present moment. But in terms of the BGP, I know that Shad, you're not racing in that one on Sunday, I believe.
No, I'm commentating with you, Dan.
Has that been confirmed? Is it?
I just confirmed it for you, Dan.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first, folks.
You can't back out now, Dan.
Well, I've got no choice now, have I?
No, you haven't.
And let's give a special mention to Ben Thompson, who's reffing, screen sharing, and riding at the same time. You, sir, are a legend. So, anyways, BGP program, if you would be so kind, Mr. Tank. So, of course, the BGP, the top 3 has pretty much been sewn up, with obviously Steph winning that one. But we do have a new rider in the BGP series, and that will be Maxed ST from the Hackney Norse. So good to see Max get a run in the BGP, and of course a great track to go to, being Bellevue, Manchester. So Max has done a round already this season. Oh, my apologies, pals. My apologies. Of course, Hads, you're in this match, mate. Thoughts going into the last round?
Just pretty much a free hit for myself. Obviously, I can't make a top 8 unless something drastic happens. I have done some laps and I've quite enjoyed the track, actually. Quite liking it, and quite fast on the line for me for once, which is a surprise. I'm normally take quite a bit to get used to it, but because I know it has been changed a few times with how keep messaging Craig to change it here back and forth. But No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's the last one, so it's just my aim is the semi-finals. Because I've only made one, I think, this season. So I think the outside gates as well might be a bit important. So I've got 3 of those out of 5. So we'll see what happens.
Oof. Not the greatest of draws there, I believe.
No, I think it's every race is tough in it in this. In this, but I know Bobby's obviously Bobby's not riding, Zagar's not riding as well, and obviously Shad. So there's going to be 3 replacements in there as well.
There's only 10 riders confirmed. When I looked just before the
Yeah,
show
I think
started.
Craig, Squall, and Unknown haven't confirmed yet, but Craig and Squall are there 9 times out of 10 anyway. So
yeah.
it's hopefully I can get a few more points with the replacements coming in, and they don't get as much practice as the other guys, but. I know Tank's got a bit of a list of replacements, just waiting to put them in for when they are confirmed they're not riding. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm just looking forward to it. I just hope Shane can't watch the SCS at the same time, to be honest, because I look forward to see what happens in that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was looking at the program here. Had your first race as Craig, Fakey, and Racer Ryan, and you're on gate 3. So a nice little baptism of fire for your first race.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, and if you look further down at my 3rd race, I've got Unknown, Paris, and Sizzler. I mean, yeah, that's the standard though of the GPs.
Don't start stressing 2 days before the meeting. Wait till the night, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, another easy win.
Battle of the Black Country again in that race.
Again, yeah. Just one of them. It's just every race has been tough. Obviously, I found it a bit difficult to get points regularly in the series, but I've enjoyed it. I've had a good crack at it. Not got as close to the top 8 as last season, but yeah. Paris will be going in the fence for that comment as well, so don't worry about that one.
Oh dear me. Well, we were going to have. I think Skyrar is going to be in some form or some way going to be part of this meeting, but I think he's actually riding in the SCS series, if I'm correct in saying.
No, I don't think he is he?
Yeah, I don't know actually, because the plan was to have.
He said he hasn't been asked, so it's news to him.
I say, well, the plan was potentially Sky to be in as a spectator for the BGP rounds, and then after every 4 races, give us the inside scoop, so they say, in terms of like giving us updates from this meeting. So that's all bit yet to be confirmed. Sky's not been asked, no. So we could have Sky potentially. All will be confirmed. So that little announcement you just made, Shads, might be a bit of a preemptive announcement there, but we'll soon find out. So that was the BGP, and of course the match we're going to be watching on Sunday will be the SCS. Now, of course, this match has a lot more riding on it. There's definitely a lot more to play for. I say I will bring Ads back in if I can. If he is, yep. Ads, this meeting, mate, very important for you. Currently going into as top. You've left it late. Of course, you overtook Scotty on the last heat of the last round. So what's your mindset going into Sunday?
Just the same as it always is. This track again though is a proper another leveler. There's so many different lines, and it's a proper, I'd say, thinker's track. You've got to really think or preempt what the person behind you or whatever's going to do. So yeah, I'm hoping I can just get out the gate and clear off, but it's going to be pretty tough, to be honest, because the practices I've had haven't exactly filled me with confidence. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, it is going to be tough. Anybody on this lineup can beat anybody. Baz beat me in the final a couple of rounds ago, and no, it's one of them. It's if they pop out the gate, hold the line, it's game over really. But yeah, I'll keep the same mindset as what I have done all season, and just go out there and ride my stuff and hope for the best.
Well, I've just looked at your program that we've got in front of us here, and if all goes to plan with you and Ads getting, or you and Scotty getting maximum points, you will meet in heat number 19, so the penultimate race of the qualifiers. But you're thinking, I guess you're going to get that advantage as quick as possible, and hope that Scotty, hashes up a couple of times and you take advantage of it. I mean, this tournament's just been, anyways, right from the word go. I know you missed the first round, but you've just been plucking away and scoring big everywhere you've gone, and to go into the final round as the leader, as the championship leader, with the potential of going into the BGPs next year. I don't want to put any added pressure on you, mate, but do you think you can win it on Sunday?
I really hope so. But like the last meeting, I don't know what was it, like an 8 or a 9 point swing between me and Scott, which made me overtake him. That could easily be the other way around on Sunday night. So I can't sort of relax too much. I need to get the points on the board early and sort of put him under a little bit of pressure. But yeah, hey, it's been a good season, whatever, and Scott's rode really well. And deserve to be right up there.
You don't want to be going into that heat 19 needing to beat Scotty to win it, because you've got a certain gentleman with a big fat behind in gate 1 that might be helping his mate,
Warriors teammate. Yeah.
I know, sort of Laram and Joe Screen style when Laram won the Grand Prix.
I think Scotty's, the pressure's on Scotty in his first race. He's out in what heat is he out in heat 3? Because he's got to win that. He's got to win that just to put a bit of pressure on you, because you don't go out into your first ride. Your first ride isn't until heat 4. So if Scotty wins that first heat and then goes 4 points behind you in the standings, then the pressure's back on you. So it's going to be backwards and forwards. I mean, if for instance Scotty gets a last place in heat 3, which I can't see happening, but you never know, it's going to be a lot easier for you. You can relax a bit more. So the first heats are going to be equally as important as the last heat.
I will
There's no
say,
good looking forward to heat 19, because heat 19 it might be over by then. So your first races are going to be really important.
It's quite interesting. I think the outside gates are probably a little bit better, and we've both got 2 of the inside gates sort of thing. So it'll be interesting, and obviously both of our first rides are off the outside as well. So
yeah,
I feel like if Scott goes out and wins his first, I feel like I've got to do the same off that sort of gate, if you know what I mean. So, but hey, it's going to be a tough one. It'll be a good meeting as well, because, as I say, the practices I've had have thrown up some right good racing. Obviously, I've been in some service with Craig and Powell when they've opened, and Craig around there is something else, and trying to get near him is pretty much impossible at the minute. But we'll give it our best, and what will be, and whoever wins deserves it, and whatever. But it's been a good competition all year.
Did you just say Craig's been practicing?
I know.
Wow.
It's because I think Power was trying to prove a point that NSS was slightly different to how it was a few years back, and probably wasn't as good. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Well, Scotty Beach just said, "We'll try, but it's only me. I'm not Steph." Ad's been brilliant to gain the ground so fast. So I was going to say,
I mean, Scott's got a good point there, because his scores have dropped off pretty much every round since round 3. If you look at Scotty's scores, whereas Ad has been pretty consistent all the way through, apart from his first meeting. He's 20, 18, 19, 18. So if he scores something like like that again, then that's pretty much over.
I don't even know
But
what I
he's
need
going
to
to
score.
probably score a maximum.
I reckon I'm going to have to be scoring sort of 15, I think, 15, 16 to
I
really
think so. Yeah,
cement it.
yeah, yeah. You've got to make sure you haven't got those sticky keys.
I know, I might even change them up just for one night only.
Oh,
I'm
don't
using
change
I'm
anything.
to be fair, I've used the same 3 keys all season, so I use UH and K at the minute, which is really random, but seems to be
wow.
yeah, I'm right up there. I've
Oh,
honestly
Jesus.
I've tried all sorts of
Wow.
combinations, but these ones seem to be the less sticky ones at the minute, so I'm going with that.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Ads, it's been great to have you on board, mate, for tonight. Obviously, thanks for coming in, giving us your thoughts on your Storm season, and of course the SCS round, which of course we will see on Sunday. So, once again, thanks for popping in, mate. Really do appreciate it.
No worries, chaps. Keep up the good work. Hopefully, you guys carry this on next year because it's been really, really good addition. It's been made Friday nights out a little bit better. To be honest, it's quite good to have a nice little laugh after a long week at work or whatever. So yeah, keep it up.
Well, we're hopefully going to be having season 19 news potentially next week. So do keep an eye on the servers and the forum posts and Discord chat, whatever you want to know. And we're hopefully going to have the news about that on next week's show, which will be the last show of the series. We've gone a whole season. Didn't think we'd last like 3 episodes. We've gone through to 21. It's been absolutely crazy.
Weird, isn't it?
Absolute crazy. I mean, there has been times where we've had to miss a couple because of other commitments elsewhere. But we do hope to have a plan for next season where we have 3 pre-recorded episodes and then 1 live episode. That's going to potentially be the plan in terms of next season. I mean, but doing it live, it's pretty good. But then you want that break in between. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get the ins and outs for that done. But in the meantime, chaps, I think with all that being said, oh no, wait, there's one more thing I got to forget. Yes, one more thing before I forget. Tanks just reminded me. A message from Wolfie in the Discord chat. Could one of you chaps plug the media feedback form during the episode tonight? Maybe some people listening who haven't filled it in will give their feedback. Thank you muchly. So, yes, we
Whoever's
have
listening to the recordings as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got the media form to fill out. So I think that's somewhere on here. But yeah, that's obviously been done to get feedback. Cape said, "I hope when he loses, he doesn't get on the mic." Says Capesy.
That's that boxing talk, I think.
Okay.
Don't worry
it's like
about
Josh. Yeah, forget that. But anyways, chaps, I think it's time. Being 9:30, we've gone for an hour and a half. I think it's time to drop the checker flag for tonight. Unless you guys have anything else you want to sort of mention or announce.
No, just if anyone hasn't voted in the team of the season as well on the forum, we'll be using the votes from that on the forum for next week's show. So go and do some voting on the forum.
Shad, any last words?
No, just thanks again to everyone for listening and listening to us 3 blabber on. We wouldn't be doing this if we did get a decent listenership. I know a lot of people listen on the recordings as well, who can't make Friday night. So appreciate you all being here. Thanks a lot.
Obviously, we'll have the announcement when the episode's going to go up from Tank, which will hopefully be in the next couple of days, hopefully. So Saturday, 8 p.m, the episode will go up on Discord and then also onto YouTube. So thanks, Tanks, for that. So with that being said, chaps, it's time to wrap it up. So I say a big thanks to Hads and Shads for stepping in. So and a massive thank you to Ads as well, and also Limo and Sis. So until next week, the last show of the the season. Coming on at 8 p.m. next Friday, potentially 8:15, yet to be confirmed. I will double check that. But until then, I will say a good night to Hads.
Good night, all.
I'll say a good night to Shads.
Good night.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. We will see you all next week for the final episode of All Four Back. We hope to see you all then. Take it easy. Ta-da.